The Stath is back. Let's find out what happens in Shelter. G'day, it's Adam here again with another quick instant movie review for you. So last night I caught Shelter. This is the latest film starring Jason Statham and Bodhi Ray Brunnock. What's this one all about? Well, Statham stars as Michael Mason, a former British government assassin who is living in isolation off the coast of Scotland. But he is forced back into a violent confrontation with his past while protecting a young girl, Jessie, from an agency that's determined to eliminate him. But why? Bum, bum, bum. This is all directed by Ric Roman Waugh, who's worked extensively with Gerard Butler on things such as the Has Fallen franchise and Greenland. This thing is written by Ward Parry. It also has Bill Nye in it, which was nice always to see him, Naomi Eki, who is always great, and Daniel Mays. Now, this film. So, from the outset, we've got the Stath. We've got him protecting a child. So, straight away, I'm into Safe Territory, which is a film that he released back in the early 2000s, I think it was. So straight away I went there, and I quite liked Safe. I thought it was quite a good film, and obviously gave Jason Statham a motivation for protecting this young child. Anyway, this time round, we're introduced to him living in isolation on an island. It looks like he runs a lighthouse, even though he doesn't. It just sits there on the coast, and millions of ships have probably bumped into the side of this island due to his negligence of running a lighthouse. That was the first thing I thought. Secondly, I thought he was a bit of a douchebag, because you've got this girl who, with this bloke, with this boat, with big seas, dropping off crates of alcohol so he can get pissed as a skunk every night, and she leaves a little present on the front doorstep, and he just kicks it out of the way. What a douchebag. So straight away I'm like, I don't like this guy. And then, stuff happens. The girl gets stranded on the island with him, and then, she gets injured. He kind of looks after her under sufferance, doesn't really talk, very monkish figure. The dog has more personality than what Jason Statham does. So we've got this very uneasy, unspoken, it's not even a bond, just this guy could be a psycho. I'm stuck on this island. Potentially you're going to kill me. And then the film kind of evolves, but we don't know anything about Jason Statham really for the first 40 minutes of this movie. So that's a long time to not like a character, to not know anything about a character, and to supposedly be somewhat intrigued, maybe, by this character, because we don't really get any hints as to who he is very much until he starts talking. And even then, we're a bit like, are you a goodie or a baddie? So there's not a lot of character development at all. And then we're really forced into this big situation of, we need to get out of here, we're going to do these things. There is so many illogical moments that happen in this film, I can't begin to tell you. Facial recognition, where he knows where cameras are, agencies plotting against each other, things with MI6 and quiet black baggy kind of stuff, and programs and Jason Bourne things, and then, killers out of nowhere, illogical car chases, illogical car rides, motivations. There's so much in this film that doesn't make any sense at all. But especially, I think the biggest part about this is, once again, we have Jason Statham again being thrown into being a black ops person, which always seems to be undercover, trying to run away from his past, back in a situation. So we've seen that, and we've seen Safe, and we've seen both of these things in different films, and better films than this. This was just a real long slog to get to anything of any interest. And even the way that the posters sell it, we have, there's about 5 different posters for this film that make it look more exciting than it actually is, which is a real shame, because I like Jason Statham. I was a big fan of his work as the Transporter. I've enjoyed Operation Fortune, Rouge de Guerre. I thought that was really fun. It kind of has that fun thing. We're in stoic territory in this, and I don't really like it because it doesn't bring out any character. Apparently, the way that Jason Statham was talking about this film and the director, there was a bigger backstory. There was a bigger time spent on the island fleshing out his character. Is that something we needed, or do we need a flashback? Do we need a sequence at the start showing him what he's capable of doing, what has happened to him in order to lead to this point? Because really, it's only until we get to the very end that we find out who he is, really, and what he's capable of doing. So, all in all, I felt this was just a huge misstep. I think the dialogue is also horrendous. Some of the worst dialogue I've heard in a movie for ages. The director talked about wanting to make films that were a bit more of a slow burn with good, gritty dialogue. Well, I'm sorry, you hired the wrong writer for this, because the dialogue in this is first base, generic tosh. It's so poorly written. There is some dialogue here that I thought Jason Statham must be gritting his teeth saying, but he's a producer on it, so maybe he doesn't actually care what he's saying. Oh, just there was some bad dialogue. So Shelter was a real letdown for me. It lives perfectly on streaming, where you can probably fast forward the first 40 minutes and sort of know where you're going to be. If this was going to be a character study, probably should have been exactly that, without too much more thrown into the mix, or make it more of a full-on action film, or give our character more reason to like him and understand him before we spend 40 minutes with him being a drop-dead, boring so-and-so. I just found that was really challenging. So for me, Shelter, I would probably give a 5.5 out of 10. Just felt it was just didn't cut the mustard, go hard or go home. Anyway, that's it from me for today. Do you have a favorite Stath film? I actually love Spy. I thought he was great in Spy. It's a cameo. It's a kind of a funny one. I kind of like a little bit of comedy, petered into my Stath films. So what's your favorite? Maybe you love Safe. Maybe you love Hummingbird. There's a few different ones out there to choose from. Comment below, let me know, and we'll catch you all next time here in my car.